Any second now. Oh, pardon me. How's that?
Yep.
Oh, something's happening.
Excellent.
How's that? Yep. Something's happening. Excellent.
I'm ready to hit the button.
Oh, it's nearly time, isn't it? Where's that gone?
Time does fly. Time doth fly when you're having fun.
Have we got any anything sort of planned or lined up for next week?
So we're doing the Christmas live show next Tuesday instead of Wednesday, because Wednesday is obviously Xmas Eve and everyone will be out getting trolleyed. So we're going to do a live Christmas special next Tuesday, which is something we've not done for a while because normally our Christmas shows are pre-recorded. So,
and Nick, I'll definitely be having a drink during that.
Yes, perhaps we should. Yes,
yeah, I will definitely be having a drinkies.
Otherwise, we'll have
Left Noel will be flowing.
Are you ready with the clock, Carlos?
I am ready, Mr. B.
Lovely.
Yes, we'll have to get HR in.
Oh, you can run the clock now.
Yep, running.
Oh, there we go.
Mm-hmm. Right, let's have a good one, gents. Here we go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Well, hello and welcome to episode 582 of the Plain Talking UK podcast. I'm Carlos, and in this week's show, Lufthansa is to sell two of its 747-8s to the US Air Force for government work. Spaceport Cornwall partners with National Drone Hub to expand uncrewed systems testing. And United Airlines touches down in Adelaide for the first time this month. In the military segment, we celebrate the last of the British Harrier flights, which took place 15 years ago. We have the usual Retro Airline Ad of the Week segment, along with an update on our plans for the 600th show in May next year. And the spaces are definitely filling up for the special show next year. We'll also be announcing the winner of the competition to win the fantastic Bray Air Show Spectacular 3 book and the 2026 calendar, kindly donated to us by our listener Alan White. So, joining me this week, as always, across the other side of the UK, not far away from Heathrow, it is our connoisseur of all things Seat 1A and BA, is of course Neville Baines. Hi, Nev.
Yes, when I used to fly, I was just saying to Andy earlier on, it was used to be doing 2 flights a week. I'm doing about 2 flights a year now. So, yeah, I'm beginning to miss it, I have to say. But you spoke about the 600 show, and we'll talk about that a bit later on. But yes, a lot of stuff going on there at the moment, which is great news. And I'm delighted that so many people have signed up to come. But we'll talk about that a bit later on towards the end of the show. But yeah, the numbers are looking very good indeed, I must say.
What's stalling us weather, Nev? This horrible weather we're having, wet, windy, ice 1 minute, and then the other morning I got up, Nev, and it was 10 degrees Celsius outside.
It's all over the shop, but then it is winter, and we do get this sort of stuff coming from the North Atlantic this time of year. One minute it's very nice, then this huge front comes through, chucks it down with rain, and then it becomes nice and sunny and cold again. It's been very nice sunrises in the morning over here, I must say. It's been very good indeed, but that's what you're going to get in the winter, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I think our years of having snow on the doorstep on Christmas Day never are well and truly gone.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. But anyway, so that's my story so far this week.
Excellent. And joining us this week, he's back with us, our resident pilot of everything Airbus, and also a sim training captain as well. Andy, welcome back.
Hello. Nice to be back again. Was this 2 weeks in a row? That's rare.
It's
lovely
we're
to be
gifted
here.
this week. We're gifted to have you back again.
And I'll definitely be here next week as well.
For the Christmas special.
Yeah.
Looking very festive in the background there. I can see lights flickering and also
yes, hang on.
the Jolly Santa.
Look at those lights. Look how horrendous they are. Very, very 80s social club vibe. That's what I went for in here this year.
That looks very good. So how are things with you, Andy? Any exciting stuff going on in the world of aviation with you?
Not at the moment, no. Just plodding along, doing bits and pieces here and there, starting to get prepared for the next training season in the summer. Got to start now to get ahead of it. But that's it, really. Just working from home.
Excellent. Good to see you, as always, Andy. And Matt's not with us this week. I don't know what Matt is up to this week. He's doing something. Don't know what. And joining us, though, this week, he's back. He's the guy who sits in the background and does various things with the show notes. And this week he's been plucking some good stories out of the mist to do the show this week. So thank you to Nick Codling. Hello, Nick.
Hi, Carlos. Good to see you again. And nice to be back on. Good to see everyone. So, just winding our way towards Christmas, aren't we?
Yeah, it's a busy old time, especially if you've got kids, isn't it?
Especially if you're an Amazon delivery driver. They seem to be doing about 3 a day for us at the moment.
Yeah, you're lucky though. They probably put them through the door, or at least knock on the door and hand them to you. I've heard some rather hideous stories. I don't know about what it is down your way, Nick, or for you, Andy and Nev, but round here, the word "every" is not a very well-spoken word round here.
Yeah, we've got. I think the local guys seem to know us quite well, so they just leave stuff in the porch. But thankfully, nothing broken so far.
Wasn't there a documentary on Monday night about Every as well on the television that they didn't come off very well in?
Yeah. I think I saw that advertised. I'm yet to watch that yet, but I'll definitely be watching. I might even watch that tonight, actually. Andy Nave reminded me. Well done. But we've got lots to get through on the show this week. And also, as we said, we've got a double Retro Airline Ad of the week this week, which you will enjoy. And I will definitely enjoy this week's Retro Airline Ad of the week. So you can probably guess what aircraft will be featuring heavily in one of the adverts. But Nev, what we got first?
Yes, it's the usual commercial news segment.
The captain has turned on the seatbelt light. Please take your seats and fasten your seatbelts.
First comes through us this week from aviation2z.com or aviation2z.com. Lufthansa selling two 747-8s to the US Air Force. Lufthansa is preparing a rare wide-bodied fleet adjustment that has drawn strong attention across the global aviation sector. The German flag carrier, headquartered over in Frankfurt and operating its 747-8 fleet primarily from Frankfurt Airport, is reportedly planning to sell two of its jumbo jets at the beginning of next year. The development matters because Lufthansa remains one of only 3 airlines worldwide still flying the passenger variant of the 747, albeit the Dash 8. The aircraft type plays a central role in the airline's long-haul network strategy and recently underwent interior updates designed to extend its service life well into the next decade. Lufthansa currently operates 19 747-8s, making it the largest passenger operator of the type. The aircraft serves high-capacity intercontinental routes where slot constraints are a premium demand and justify the jet's size and performance. According to fleet tracking data, 2 aircraft are now expected to exit the fleet earlier than previously planned. The 13-year-old aircraft, registered as Delta Alpha Bravo Yankee Delta, is slated to leave service in January 2026, followed by the 12-year-old Delta Alpha Bravo Yankee Golf in the third quarter of the same year. If finalised, the move would reduce Lufthansa's long-term 747-8 fleet to 17 aircraft. Used wide-body aircraft typically attract limited secondary market interest, particularly four-engine jets, and Lufthansa's willingness to part with 2 airframes suggests a targeted transaction rather than a conventional disposal-driven market pressure. Industry reports indicate that the 2 747-8s may be destined for the US Air Force, a development that would be highly unusual for former commercial passenger aircraft. Reported interest aligns with ongoing challenges surrounding the delayed Air Force One replacement program. The US Air Force has faced repeated scheduled setbacks in introducing new Boeing 747-8 aircraft based on the presidential aircraft. Original delivery targets have slipped by several years, creating capability gaps that may require interim or alternative solutions. The availability of relatively young, well-maintained Dash 8 airframes could present a practical option for modification. Now, the story does go on, but not surprised at this. Obviously, it's a great aircraft. I'd love to have a go at flying on a Dash 8, and I have said before, I need to somehow book a flight with Lufthansa that utilises this aircraft, which will probably mean me having to fly over to Frankfurt or somewhere over in Europe to do. But yeah, what do you think, Nev? The Dash 8?
Yeah, well, it's a great aircraft, great looking aircraft too. And I just caught it before we went to air tonight, because I noticed that Aviation A to Z had put the 747-400 aircraft as its picture, which we would have taken otherwise. So I had to quickly scale the internet to find the correct aircraft, because we would have been criticised very heavily by the chat room for putting the incorrect aircraft in. Quite rightly too, because we complain heavily about other people doing the same thing. It's interesting. I can't remember another occasion where two perfectly serviceable aircraft, quite young, have been offered to the US Air Force, or any Air Force perhaps, around the world. So quite interesting. And it's obviously mainly because Boeing can't produce the stuff in time. So, but I would imagine that's going to need heavy modification, but because it's already configured for passenger ops, I suppose that's one of the main reasons they're going for it.
Yeah, it is a lovely looking aircraft. Do you see one of these in the flesh, Andy?
Yes, I've seen plenty of them in the flesh, and one flew overhead me this afternoon while I was out walking the dog, actually. A Lufthansa one from Frankfurt to somewhere. I think it was LAX, can't remember. Quickly whipped the phone out, got flight radar 24 to see what it was, because I could see it was 4 engines, and that's quite rare nowadays. It is only a reduction in the fleet of 2 aircraft from 19 to 17. And it's not confirmed that they're definitely going to the US Air Force, but I can't see any other reason why they would sell them, and they probably sell them for a good amount, because the USAF are desperate for them now at the moment with all these delays. So there's a good chance they're going there. But it's a good airframe. It's a well-proven airframe. I still don't understand why they can't use the 777 as a platform for it. I don't know why it needs to be 4 engines, but there we are.
Yeah, redundancy? No, do you think, Andy, would it be something to do with the redundancy of having 4 engines, or do you think it's just cost?
Well, I don't really know, to be honest. Don't know.
I think there's still a prestige, isn't there, to the 747 that no other aircraft really has.
Yeah, that's it.
It is
to be honest, that's misplaced, if you ask me. Yeah, it's a statement. Where's the practicalities in it?
Does anyone else think it's remarkable that Lufthansa have still got 19 of them? I was quite shocked
I
when
didn't
read
even
that.
realise there was that many still in service of the Dash.
Yeah,
8s,
so
to
that's
be fair.
okay. So, question for the chat room: who are the other two carriers? The only one I can think of is Korean.
Korean.
'Cause there's
Korean and Lufthansa are the only two passenger operators, aren't they?
I think the article said there are 3 passenger operators because there's plenty doing cargo, but yeah, I can't think who the other one is.
Haven't Atlas got some of those?
Yeah, but not
Not passenger.
The freighter, the freighter versions. Yeah,
I'll look that up.
Richard E. Flagg said possibly
Air China,
Air
apparently.
China.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Rise to that man.
You know, I still kind of look at the Dash 8 as being a relatively new aircraft, but obviously it is gaining age. As I said, with those variants they're talking about in the story, 12 years old plus. Yeah, but I still think it looks stunning. The 7.4 will never lose its appeal at all. No, Nev, interesting one here for you in case you're fancying on going and working for BA.
Well, yes, I don't think I quite fit their specification, but it's interesting to talk about cabin crew salaries this year because it's not a subject we cover very often. But this is on Aviation A to Z as well, and it says that, as we all know, BA is the UK's flag carrier, operating a global network of domestic, European and long-haul flights. Its cabin crew are frontline ambassadors of the airline's service, safety and brand standards. Well, for anyone considering a cabin crew role with BA, it's essential to understand not just the base salary, but how allowances, flying hours, route types and seniority affect total earnings. Just to give you a quick idea, the cabin crew at British Airways typically start with basic salaries of around £18,000 to £22,000 per year when first joining and operating a standard roster of short-haul or domestic flights. This figure is inclusive of base pay and some basic allowances, though actual take-home earnings depend heavily on flying hours and layover duty. With increased experience, time served seniority, favourable rosters and plentiful flying hours, total compensation tends to rise into the region of £25,000 to £30,000 per year. For very senior cabin crew, pursers or those working especially busy long-haul schedules, earnings can approach or exceed £35,000 per year when allowances and overtime are maximised. Well, whilst BA's base salary is not the highest in the global industry, the total compensation package, once flying pay, layover allowances and travel benefits are considered, it does make the role of a viable career for many aviation service professionals. Just to give you an idea of some of the benefits that BA provide. There's travel privileges. Cabin crew enjoy heavily discounted or standby travel across the airline's global network and often extended to eligible family members. Personal travel opportunities are significantly enhanced through these perks. Layover and accommodation allowances, well, when rostered for overnight or international layovers, crew are accommodated in hotels and receive per diem allowances and meals, helping manage costs whilst working away from their home base. Also, with training and career progression, recruits undergo paid training in safety procedures, service standards and airline protocols. Pension and life insurance. BA offers contributory pension schemes and life and disability insurance to crew, supporting long-term financial security beyond immediate pay. Uniform and appearance support. Crew are provided with uniforms and guidance on grooming and presentation standards, ensuring they meet the airline's brand image and face minimal personal expense for work attire. They get paid leave and time off, so crew members receive paid annual leave, rest day provisions and rostered time off in accordance with aviation duty regulations, helping manage the demands of irregular hours. And finally, employee discounts and welfare services. Additional perks include discounts on services, hotels, car hire and retail, access to employee assistance programs for well-being and internal recognition schemes for service excellence. A lot of other criteria as well. But it just goes to show that so many cabin crew have to make up their earnings from things other than the base salary. And it's one of those things, if you're going for a house or something like that, and you have to prove your earnings, and of course, you're not really sure what you're going to be earning because of what the down route situations are, or how senior you are. It must be very difficult to work all that out. But the basic salaries are quite low, but they have to make it up through all these extra allowances and benefits that they get depending on the rosters and how long they've been with the airline.
25,000 just seems like, well, 25 to 30k a year, because I know the minimum wage has gone up, I think, now, hasn't it, Nev, in the UK? And bearing in mind, they're providing a safety critical role. If it all goes wrong on the runway, for example, and they have to initiate or assist with an evacuation, as John Hutchinson once said, they're not just there to serve you tea and coffee, but it's a very responsible job. But people go for the jobs because they like the opportunity to travel as well, even on a short haul basis, European routes and things like that. But it's very hard work. I mean, we see it a lot, don't we, when we've all flown, how hard the cabin crews are working. Being someone who works in the industry, Andy, what are your views on the pay for this, for the crews here with BA?
Yeah, I agree with what's been said. It's a safety critical role. When it hits the fan, there can be the difference between life and death, and I do agree that they should be paid more. It should be less about the variable pay, and it should be more a solid basic pay, so that they can do things like sort of mortgage. Because when you work in the industry and you're trying to go for a mortgage, things like that, you've got your basic pay, your variable pay, performance pay, whatever else is on top. It's just a minefield. They should be being paid more off the bat straight away.
And like I say, is that the what you have to do as cabin crew, you're like you guys are saying, you're not just there to serve drinks and stuff. You're doing a safety critical role. You've trained, you've spent a lot of time training. There's lots of courses you have to do, I'd imagine, and stuff like that. And you have, you don't just turn up, get a job, and go on an aircraft and to be a cabin crew member. There's all the training that is involved.
Well, and these guys also, they're not on a single fleet. They have to learn several different aircraft and know how all of the safety systems work, and they vary very differently, even across airframes from one manufacturer. And these guys are working on two different manufacturers, several different airframes. It's so much to remember. I wouldn't be able to remember it. Not a chance.
It'd be interesting to see what the difference in pay for like you guys is between the airlines, Andy, from the airline that you work through to like some of the other bigger carriers, more, the bigger carriers like the legacy carriers here in the UK, plus all obviously the low cost carriers and stuff, just how different the pilot salaries are between airlines. Because, most of the aircraft they fly are the same, pretty much the same type, Airbus or Boeing, the 73 or the A320. It would be interesting to see how different the salaries are between different airlines.
Well, it all depends on the structure as well. Some are seniority based, some are not. The likes of BA, you start on X amount and it goes up every year without you doing anything. Whereas in other airlines, at low cost ones, it's just one flat pay for that role for the whole time that you're in it. So it varies massively.
Now, Nick, we're going to head down towards your neck of the woods for the next story.
Yep, not tremendously far from me. So this one is from ukaviation.news, and the headline is Spaceport Cornwall partners with National Drone Hub to expand uncrewed systems testing. Spaceport Cornwall, the UK's first licensed spaceport, has begun work on a major new collaboration with the National Drone Hub, aimed at creating a unique testing environment for uncrewed aerial systems, further strengthening Cornwall's role in the UK's future air and space ecosystem. The National Drone Hub, operated by Holeship in partnership with the Royal Navy, is the UK's first Civil Aviation Authority accredited drone test site. It provides access to a 320-hectare facility featuring 4 runways and more than 8,000 square kilometres of segregated airspace off the Lizard Peninsula. This extensive maritime airspace is already supporting comprehensive testing and evaluation of uncrewed systems in a tightly controlled environment. Under the new project, Spaceport Cornwall, based at Cornwall Airport, Newquay, will build on these existing capabilities by establishing a specific operations risk assessment framework at Newquay, otherwise known as SORA. And the SORA approval is a key safety requirement for a more complex and advanced drone operations. Supported by funding from Cornwall Space Cluster, the initiative could unlock access to segregated airspace off the north coast of Cornwall from Newquay, enabling beyond visual line of sight test and evaluation activity. The scale of the airspace would support operations by larger and higher speed uncrewed vehicles, including platforms capable of supersonic flight. Together, the two corner sites would create a complementary and highly capable testing environment supporting the development, validation and certification of next-generation autonomous systems, from small-scale drones through to advanced uncrewed aircraft. Amy Smith, the managing director at Cornwall Airport Newquay, said the partnership brings together two organisations with a track record of innovation. This joint project combines the expertise of two pioneering aerospace teams in Cornwall, delivering national firsts in space and future air systems, she said. And Helen Stembridge, the director at Holeship, added, "We are delighted to be working with Spaceport Cornwall and Cornwall Airport Newquay to support and develop this dual-use opportunity, benefiting the airport, the county and the wider region." Gail Easter, head of strategic partnerships at the Cornwall Space Cluster, said the collaboration reinforces Cornwall's growing aerospace credentials. This offers an incredible opportunity to further cement Cornwall's place at the forefront of UK space and aerospace operations. And Cornwall Space Cluster is proud to support this groundbreaking project, she said. The initiative highlights Cornwall's emergence as a key hub for advanced aerospace technologies and aligns with Spaceport Cornwall's wider ambition to become Europe's future air and space solution, providing flexible, resilient and safe access to space while supporting innovation across the aerospace sector.
So I have to say, if you're going to do this kind of thing, you know, with drones and UAVs, Nick, your neck of the woods is probably the safer part of the country to do it in.
we already get quite a lot of military training flights and even commercial training flights down this way anyway, because it is obviously a far less congested airspace. And you know, we are seeing a lot of developments with you know, EV tolls and that kind of stuff. So you know, I think that there's definitely been a move towards kind of unmanned warfare, hasn't there? You know, we're seeing a lot of drone activity with the Russia-Ukraine war. I've got a friend in the industry who was talking about some of the crazy numbers of drones that are getting used every week in that war. And obviously, you know, there's a definite taste for being able to take the manned element out of those types of operations where possible. So I think we are going to continue to see a rise in the development of uncrewed aerospace.
Of course, we were privy to a lot of this, weren't we, Nev? A few years ago. Was it a few years ago now? Was it 2 years ago we were in Dublin?
Yeah, coming up to 2 years ago. Yeah, the drone summit in Dublin. Yeah, we had a lot of conversation about the military aspect of it as well, and there was some pretty serious hardware there as well. I seem to remember, not just the consumer stuff that we've kind of all seen, but some very serious big stuff as well, wasn't there? And that was nearly 2 years ago. So again, the development of this technology is incredible, isn't it?
It's a huge and still growing industry, really is. Yeah, it'd be nice to go back again. Actually, Nev, I enjoyed that the weekend.
Yes, we can't talk about it too much though, because Darren gets irritated if we do talk about drones.
Right, Andy, we are looking at economy class, which is something that obviously we all have to travel here, apart from obviously you, Andy.
Unbelievable. Nev as well. Nev's a businessman. Ex-businessman.
Well, yeah.
This is from aviationatz.com. It's best airline economy class in the world as per travellers in 2025. Economy class has become far more competitive in the last decade, with airlines realising that travellers expect comfort, reliability, entertainment and consistent service, even without premium fares. In 2025, Business Traveller readers voted for the carriers that delivered the best long-haul and short-haul economy experience, focusing on cabin comfort, meals, technology, service quality, and the ability to create a pleasant journey from start to finish. This year's results highlight both familiar leaders and subtle innovations shaping the economy travel landscape. The following list reflects passengers' sentiment and overall experience rather than fleet size or route networks, making it an insightful ranking of airlines that genuinely value economy passengers. So first on the list is Qatar Airways, and they once again take the top spot, maintaining a reputation for delivering a premium-feeling product even in its most affordable cabin. Travellers consistently mention spacious seating, supportive headrests, and a cabin layout that avoids feeling cramped on long journeys. The airline's Airbus A350 and Boeing 787 aircraft are particularly admired for their quiet interiors and clean air circulation systems that reduce fatigue. Well, actually, it's the pressurization that reduced the fatigue, but never mind. One of the standout features is the Oryx One entertainment system, which remains among the most comprehensive in the world. The interface is smooth, and the collection of films, series, and live TV channels surpasses most competitors. Qatar's in-flight Wi-Fi, while variable across aircraft, performs better than many global carriers and is handy on long-haul routes. Meal service is another consistent strength. Qatar Airways places real emphasis on well-portioned dishes with balanced flavours, and passengers frequently comment on how the catering quality feels close to premium economy on certain flights. Combined with attentive and multilingual cabin crew, Qatar Airways continues to set the standard for what modern economy class should offer. In at number 2 is Singapore Airlines, and they remain synonymous with excellence, and its economy cabin reflects the same detailed focus found across its premium products. Seats are ergonomically refined, offering excellent support even during ultra-long-haul sectors. The adjustable footrests, supportive cushions, and clever seat contours make long journeys feel easier on the body. Passengers consistently praise Chris World, Singapore's award-winning entertainment platform. With a vast catalogue of content, responsive screens, and easy navigation, the system often outperforms many business class equivalents. Cabin lighting and air quality are managed to help passengers rest better, showcasing their strong engineering-driven approach to comfort. Meals are also high quality, often with Asian-influenced options that stand out for authenticity and taste. Crew service is polished, warm, and remarkably consistent across different routes. Singapore Airlines performs exceptionally well with families, solo travellers, and business travellers flying economy alike. In at number 3, Emirates. Emirates secures the third position thanks to its broad fleet consistency and strong passenger satisfaction scores. Known for comfort across both its Boeing 777 and A380s, its economy seats offer generous width and a clean, modern cabin design. The A380 remains a favourite among travellers thanks to its quiet environment and more spacious configuration. The airline's most defining feature continues to be the ICE entertainment system, which is regularly acknowledged as the best in-flight entertainment platform in the world. With thousands of hours of content, superior screen quality, and intuitive controls, ICE sets the benchmark others attempt to follow. Meals on board Emirates are hearty and thoughtfully presented, often exceeding the expectations typically associated with economy travel. The airline performs particularly well on long-haul routes to Europe, Asia, and the Americas, where consistent food quality and friendly cabin crew contribute to positive reviews. In at number 4, we have Cathay Pacific, and their approach to service has always been subtle and refined, which resonates strongly with frequent travellers. In 2025, its updated long-haul economy seats gained significant praise for lumbar support, increased ergonomic comfort, and enhanced storage space for personal items. Wider armrests and improved cushioning make the cabin more comfortable during lengthy journeys, and the airline's Studio CX entertainment platform offers strong content variety and clear display quality. Cathay Pacific also performs strongly in catering, offering meals with balanced flavours and reliable portion sizes. Again, Asian-influenced dishes, especially those on routes connecting Hong Kong with North America and Europe, receive particularly positive feedback. And in at number 5, we have Air New Zealand, and they continue to innovate in the economy travel space. And its Sky Couch, a row of seats that converts into a sofa-like surface, is a well-known favourite among couples and families. Even without Sky Couch, the airline's standard seats are well-designed, offering good cushioning, clear IFE screens, and adequate legroom. Passenger highlight the airline's friendly, humorous service culture as a defining element of the travel experience. The crew's approachable style and unique New Zealand personality add a memorable dimension to the journey. The meal quality is strong, with fresh ingredients and regionally inspired dishes that travellers often enjoy. Entertainment options are solid, and the airline has invested significantly in maintaining a consistent experience across its long-haul fleet. So there we are. Do I get payment for all of those airlines now for doing these wonderful advertisements for them?
You should do, Andy, I think. Definitely.
Very good. Yeah. There's no real surprises in there, is there?
No, not with the big ones, especially, well, Emirates didn't surprise me at all. I haven't flown with them quite a few times. They do definitely push the boat out when it comes to economy, with leg room and menu choices and snacks and the amount of drink that you can have while you're there sitting in economy.
I think the other thing to remember, of course, is that all that's long haul stuff, but of course we've got the ultra long haul stuff coming up probably at the end of 2026 going into 27 with Qantas's Project Sunrise, their A350 1000 ULRs that they're going to fly from London and New York to Sydney and Melbourne directly, where you'll be up to 22 hours on the aircraft. So it'll be interesting to see what those reviews are once the service starts. I must say, personally speaking, I get to about 13 and a half hours, which is London to Singapore, and that's it for me. I've had enough. I don't want to do anymore. But 22 hours non-stop, even if it was an A350.
I'd need to be in business off first, Dev, definitely.
Absolutely, yeah. But that Project Sunrise is 4 classes: first, business, premium economy, and economy. So we'll have to see. But so that's going to bring a whole new dimension to it in 18 months' time or so.
I feel like they're going to sell every single seat on those airplanes because people are just going to be completely in love with the idea of flying direct, aren't they? Even if it's sitting in economy.
Yeah, I don't know. I did quite like the stop off in Singapore on the way to Melbourne when I did it back in 2003 and 2004. Coming back was a hell of a slog, I must say. But well, we'll have to see how that pans out, won't we? So
I did like the same as well when I did several trips to New Zealand and back when I was doing my flight training, and I enjoyed breaking it up. It was quite often Heathrow, Dubai, Singapore, Brisbane or Sydney, then on to Auckland. It was quite nice doing that in both directions, even if it was just to get up and stretch your legs for a bit of fresh air, or sit in another business class lounge and drink more brandy and eat the food. It doesn't matter which one. But it was nice to move around.
Yeah.
Don't you think that the best thing, though, is if you're flying with Emirates on the 380, you could actually, if you wanted to, go and have a shower and freshen up and then go start drinking more, obviously. I think that's quite nice.
That's if you're in first, yes.
Yeah.
You do that in first.
Or even the Q suite. If you're in a Q suite, which I think they're like £10,000-15,000 one way or something ridiculous like that. If you're in a Q suite, I don't think you'd worry too much if it was 10, 15, 20 hours flying. Oh, I don't think you would anyway.
As long as you could sleep, I think you could survive that, no problem.
Yeah, definitely. Right, next story is coming from aerotime.aero. Austrian Airlines bidding farewell to the first of 17 Embraer E195s in fleet rollover. Austrian Airlines has bid farewell to the first of 17 Embraer 195s as part of its short and medium haul fleet rollover that will see the carrier shift. You'll be ready. You're looking forward to this, Andy, I bet. Shift to an only Airbus A320 family of jets. The first Embraer, now registered as India Echo November Juliet Alpha, left Vienna International Airport on December the 12th and has landed at Verona Airport to begin operations with Air Dolomiti in Italy. A total of 13 of 17 Embraer aircraft will join sister airline Air Dolomiti, while the other Air 4 aircraft will be sold externally beginning in 2026. Austrian Airlines said the delivery of the E195 was the first step in the process of decommissioning the 17 Embraer aircraft from its fleet. They said, "We're saying goodbye to the first of the aircraft which have served us well and provided important services for many years." They said, "We're delighted that a large part of the Embraer fleet will now continue to fly with Austrian's sister company, L. Dolomiti," said Stefan Kienan Schreib, COO of Austrian Airlines. He added, "I would like to thank everyone," he said, "in Austrian team who's made the start of the fleet rollover for Austrian Airlines short and medium haul fleet so quick, safe and straightforward." The first Embraer 195 flew for Austrian Airlines back in January 2016 after joining the fleet to replace the Fokker aircraft. Now, the Dolomiti-operated E195s begin scheduled services with Austrian Airlines back in April 18th, 2016, with a flight from Vienna to Stuttgart, and was the fourth Embraer to be added to the fleet at the time. Embraer replacements. Instead of the 17 Embraer aircraft, Austrian Airlines will receive 6 brand new Airbus A320neo aircraft, each with 180 seats. The first of these 6 aircraft is expected in the summer 2026 and will bring the carrier's Airbus fleet to 46 aircraft. Austrian Airlines began renewing its long-haul fleet back in 2024 with the arrival of its first 2 787-9 Dreamliners. As things stand, 10 more of the aircraft will be added by the end of 2028. Austrian Airlines' fleet of Embraer, Airbus, Boeing 767s, 777s, 787-9s will be narrowed to include only the Airbus A320 family and the 787-9 Dreamliners. The Embraer E195s will be phased out by the end of 2028, with the next Embraer expected to depart in February next year. So there we go. It's carrying on. It's a good little aircraft, the E195. They nickname those is it the Jungle Jets or Jungle Jets they call those?
I've not heard of that. No. But I've only flown the 190s that BA City Flyer operate in and out of London City Airport. That whole range. I mean, from a regional aircraft, it's great, but of course actually the range is pretty good on those too, isn't it? So it can get you into southern parts of Europe from the UK quite easily. But they're obviously going for the fuel economy, I would imagine, by going with the A320neo fleet.
Isn't the 195 Nevs what they fly into? Who's that fly those into London City, or is it 175?
Well, BA City Flyer do that. I mean, amongst others as well. Quite a few operators now use that aircraft. But I've always found actually going, I don't know whether it's just the weather conditions where I've been flying the 190 or being a passenger on the 190, but it's always felt a bit sort of jiggly, even with the autopilot engaged. It's never quite as smooth as some of the larger jets. I mean, obviously, because it's a slightly smaller aircraft, but nonetheless, it's obviously a very capable machine, and Embraer have done pretty well with it over the years. It's a very versatile aircraft too, but I would imagine it's all about the fuel burn and getting as many bums on seats as possible now.
Yeah, the A320 is king. Aren't you pleased with that, Andy?
Long live the king.
Nev, we're talking new lounges now. Typically, you've just obviously stopped flying so much with BA to this particular destination, which you frequented quite often.
Yes, I used to spend probably half my life in Edinburgh Airport. This is on travelmole.com, and Turkish Airlines this time has marked the opening of its newest lounge at Edinburgh International Airport. Situated on level 2, the lounge is open for business class passengers, certain Miles and Smiles members, and others with a paid lounge membership card. It can accommodate up to 149 guests with a premium experience, including an open buffet for lunch and dinner, prayer rooms, and a relaxation area. Chief Operations Officer Akif Konar says this marks an important milestone as our first abroad lounge in Europe and our 8th outside of Turkey, he said. Turkish Airlines flies 10 times a week to Edinburgh from Istanbul, and the CEO of Edinburgh Airport, Stephanie Weir, said that the opening demonstrates Turkish Airlines' commitment to the airport and to enhancing the travel experience for passengers. Well, of course, the airport over the years has expanded massively from when I started flying there back in 1985, 86, something like that. But yeah, it's a very, very busy airport indeed. And they've done a lot of work on it recently to improve the passenger experience. So it's good that they've got external, international airlines wanting to have their own lounge as well.
Yeah, it's an awesome airport to fly through. Not as many times as you, Nev, but I have been through Edinburgh a couple of times. But no, it would be nice if you could get a chance to try the lounge, Nev, and compare it to the BA lounge.
Yeah, I suppose I'd have to be flying to Istanbul to do that. And the likelihood of that is approximately nil, I would say.
Turkish quite often send wide bodies into Edinburgh as well.
Yes, I've seen a 777, I think, come into Edinburgh previously.
As well.
And 330, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Are they using it as a stop-off? Or, I mean, it seems extraordinary to me that they're doing 10 flights a week between Edinburgh and Istanbul. Are there a lot of Turkish people in Edinburgh?
Well, no,
or is
Turkish
it merely tourism.
Turkish are trying to do sort of the Emirates, Qatar, Etihad's model of get everybody into Istanbul, then fly them out somewhere else.
Right, okay.
Because that new Istanbul airport is unbelievably huge.
Yeah.
The taxi times around there are phenomenal. It's that big. So yes, that's what they try to do now, the hub and spoke system.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Right, good news if you are in the US and you're a fan of United Airlines and you want to go down under, Nick.
Yeah, so this one's from businesstraveller.com, and it's the headline is United Airlines touches down in Adelaide for the first time. The Star Alliance member United Airlines touched down at Adelaide Airport for the very first time on the 13th of December, marking a commencement of the first ever non-stop service between South Australia and the United States. Passengers on the inaugural flight from San Francisco were greeted at the arrivals gate with a number of South Australian icons. And I'm going to pre-apologise to any Australian listeners now because I haven't heard of any of these. Jerleek, Hayes and Penfolds to entice them to sample more of what South Australia has to offer during their stay. I'm assuming those are all great. Adelaide Airport says the new connection will deliver a huge boost to the economy through tourism and trade, including for business events and conferences. It also means South Australians will no longer have to endure travelling to Melbourne, Brisbane or Sydney, often catching a bus to an international terminal just to connect to a US flight. Commencing as a seasonal service, the 15-hour flight will operate 3 times a week until March, with the possibility to increase in the future as demand grows. The flight will operate on a Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner with 257 seats, including 48 in United Polaris Business Class and 21 in United Premium Plus, which is a premium economy seat. Flights will arrive into Adelaide at 9:30 in the morning on Mondays, Wednesdays and Saturdays and depart the same day for San Francisco at 14:55 in the afternoon. United Airlines is the world's largest airline as measured by available seat miles and operates the most comprehensive global route network among North American carriers. San Francisco is a major hub for United Airlines in the US, acting as the airline's primary West Coast and Trans-Pacific gateway and a major maintenance facility. Travellers from Adelaide can take advantage of one-stop connections to more than 75 US destinations, previously only reachable with 2 connections from the airline's San Francisco hub, including New York, Orlando, Las Vegas, Denver, Chicago, Seattle, and Washington, D.C. United has partnered with Virgin Australia since 2022, establishing code share cooperation, reciprocal loyalty benefits for Velocity frequent flyer members and United Mileage Plus members. This is a core connection in our aviation network vision that has been decades in the making. It is the result of a strong collaboration between Adelaide Airport and the South Australian government and the confidence and support of United Airlines, said the Adelaide Airport Managing Director Brenton Cox. So there we go. So having previously talked about direct flights over to Australia, they're going across the Pacific as well.
15 hours, which I think if you were flying with United, is it the Polaris? No, is it United Polaris business class? I think you'd probably get on all right with that, Nev. 15 hours.
Oh yeah, I can manage that. Yeah, definitely. But no, it's good that they're getting more of the long haul sectors going through the Pacific route as well, isn't it? Yeah, great news, and a nice aircraft to do it on as well.
It is definitely the Dash 9.
Yeah, I've still not flown on one of those.
Oh, you need to, Nick.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, very comfy, as well as the 350 as well, Nev. Yeah, very comfy.
Also, not been on one of those.
Right, Andy, you have got the next story and what not to happen after storing an aircraft.
Yes, this is from aerospaceGlobalNews.com, and it's Qantas A380 suffers wing damage after multiple system failures on first flight after 6 years in storage. A combination of a wing slat failure that grounded the aircraft and other passenger experience complaints on board led to a problematic relaunch from this A380. Qantas' highly anticipated return to service of its 10th Airbus A380, Victor Hotel Oscar Quebec Charlie, Paul McGuinness, has run into trouble. On the 7th of December 2025, while operating QF11 from Sydney to LA, passengers reported technical issues and visible wing damage. Upon landing at LA International Airport, engineers discovered a damage to a leading edge slat on the left wing, which necessitated the aircraft's grounding for repairs. The event occurred just 5 days after EASA issued an airworthiness directive regarding Airbus's A380 slats, and 9 days before the directive was due to take effect. The aircraft was the last Qantas A380 to return to service after being in storage for 6 years. It had just undergone extensive maintenance as part of its 12-year check. Just before the incident, Qantas issued an official press release celebrating the return of Victor Hotel Oscar Quebec Charlie, which was MSN 22, to service after nearly 6 years in storage. The aircraft is dubbed Paul McGuinness in honour of one of Qantas's founders. Bringing an A380 back into service after nearly 6 years in storage is no small feat. Teams of engineers around the globe came together to complete more than 100,000 hours of work to prepare the aircraft for flying again. From extensive checks to heavy maintenance, landing gear replacement, a full cabin refresh and assessment flight with parts shipped by land, sea and sky, Qantas International CEO Cam Wallace said. Passengers aboard QF11 described a series of issues that extended beyond the structural concern. Passengers posted complaints about in-service failures on social media after the flight landed, as reported by Aero South Pacific. Australian television presenter Lynn Jill Martin, who was among those on board, posted footage and commentary on Instagram. While a post no longer appears on her Instagram account, news.com.au and other outlets captured a screenshot. A Qantas spokesperson acknowledged the slat issue, telling Aero South Pacific a section of the slat on the left wing of one of our A380s was found to be damaged after landing in Los Angeles. The aircraft operated normally and landed without incident. Engineers are now replacing the slat so it can return to operations this week. The Daily Mail quotes a Qantas spokesperson responding to Joe Martin's other claims. It was a slat on the wing which was seen. I wouldn't say it was a chunk. It's used when the aircraft take off or land. It was looked at by engineers when it came into LA, and after a part comes in from Dubai, it will operate again on Thursday. The A380 is very popular and it's a very busy time of year. Qantas also confirmed that in-flight entertainment was unavailable for most of the flight, but did not address other issues with lighting, seating or lavatories. The airline spokesperson added that Qantas had compensated passengers on the flight with points or some flight credits as a way of saying thank you for bearing with us during the disturbance. And it goes on a bit here. So essentially, a slat got damaged and some bits of lighting and toilets didn't work. I mean, these things happen. It's been in storage for a very long time, and it's a big old aeroplane. The slat damage looks like it's hit something as well.
There's plenty of redundancy anyway, isn't there, on these sort of things? But and BA had the same problem after storing their A380s in Madrid for not that long, actually, nowhere near as long as this one was. And they had all sorts of operational niggles and things that, caused the aircraft to be grounded or to be stuck down route somewhere. But yeah, these things happen. But yeah, it's a long time for it to be in storage, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a very long time. You don't normally see aircraft come back from that length of storage, really. And 100, when these aircraft especially are due in for a big C check, the heavy ones, C and D checks, especially an aircraft of that size with the many tens of miles of wiring on board and stuff like that, it's no surprise that it's 100,000 man hours to check all of this stuff over.
I also wouldn't like, with the greatest respect to the maintenance teams around the world, I would not like to be the initial flight crew that took it out after a big check. I don't know why that is, but sometimes things go wrong and don't quite perform as you wish. But as I was just saying, with an aircraft like that, just like the 747, with so much redundancy on board, it doesn't become a flight safety critical issue very often. It was more of a irritation or a system being inoperative than that.
Well, as we know from QF32, you need a lot of things to go wrong, and it's still flyable. So, it's a very robust airframe.
Yeah.
Don't you agree, though? The horror story of this whole story is the fact the entertainment system didn't work.
Oh, horrendous.
Yeah. What an awful flight. Yeah, feel sorry for him.
Just look out the window and eat your food. Read a book.
Exactly. Right. Last, a penultimate story, this one, from DorsetEcho.co.uk. Good news this is if you're young and have plenty of money, or maybe not. Bournemouth Flight School helping tackle national pilot shortage. Skyborne Airline Academy, based in Bournemouth, is working with Ryanair on the Future Flyer Academy, offering a direct pathway to get more pilots into the skies. The programme gives trainees a structured route into the airline industry with training designed to reflect real-world cockpit operations. Lee Woodward runs Skyborne Flight School. He said that new figures have found that airlines across Europe need around 6,000 newly trained pilots each year to keep pace with the rising passenger demand and the retirement of experienced captains, yet not nearly enough trainees are entering the system. Lee said that we've known about the pilot shortage for the last 10 years, but guess it's coming to fruition now. It says here, we all know becoming a pilot is to be an expensive feat. Lee stressed there are alternative ways to enter the profession through scholarship pathways. He said you can apply on the website where the airline scholarship is listed. The initial application goes through Skyborne portal. If you pass the first stage of selection, they then shortlist the candidates based on the criteria set by the airline, such as BA. Those shortlisted go on to a second round with the airline, and the airline ultimately awards the scholarships. Skyborne Flight School offers a 76-week training course, taking students with no knowledge to fully qualified pilots. Lee said he can almost guarantee that graduates will be able to secure a job due to the school's strong connections with airlines across the globe. Skyborne is currently has around 80 students enrolled in the training program, but Lee is urging budding aviation enthusiasts to consider the career. He said Lee has been a pilot for more than 35 years and said he's always wanted to follow his career path, setting up a flight school in the hopes of getting more people into the profession. Have you heard of these guys, Andy? At all?
Skyborne, yes, I have, definitely. And it's quite funny, really. Lee Woodward was involved in the school that I trained at many years ago, which was based at Bournemouth. And it doesn't exist anymore, sadly. Now Lee left and went off and set up Skyborne. So he does have all these connections with all the airlines, which is he's a good person to know, really, in the industry. And he's right. There is a mass shortage coming. In my airline alone, in the next 5 to 6 years, we have a lot of people coming from mandatory retirement. We're not even talking about early retirees. 65, that's it. You're out the door, sadly. And that's just in our airline. So it's going to be the same across most airlines in Europe as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Do you remember at the summer meetup, Nev, at Beccles? I don't know whether you saw the young lad, Jake, who was the one doing the refuelling of the aircraft while we were there. I don't know if you spotted him while we were there.
Yes, I did, yeah.
He's going into this program with Skyborne. So,
brilliant.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I might reach out to him and see when he's starting. I think he's starting in the new year in January or February. So.
It'll be interesting to follow his progress as well and see how he's getting on with it.
Yeah, perhaps I need to go and give him a poke and find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Right, Nev, you've got the "and finally" story, and are you feeling rough, Nev?
Oh, this is not really my kind of story, but I thought I would, take one for the team, as they say. It's on says.com, and it says pets can now fly with you on Asia's first pet-friendly airline called, wait for it, Singapore Air. See what I did there? Well, introducing Singapore Air, Asia's first pet-friendly private jet service designed entirely around one simple idea. Every fur baby deserves to fly comfortably, safely, and right by your side. Yes, that means in the cabin and not in the cargo hold. And yes, it is as deluxe as it sounds. Singapore Air operates private charter flights out of the Seletar Business Airport in Singapore, where you and your pet can enjoy private boarding and a dedicated jet attendant. There are no crate requirements and no weight limits, so your dog can sit comfortably next to you instead of being squeezed into a box. It's basically business class, but for your furry buddy. Your pup also gets a custom pet menu, premium toys, and a calm, stress-free cabin environment. Well, if you've ever tried relocating with a pet, you'll know the paperwork alone can send you spiralling. But Singapore Air takes that off your plate completely because they handle import and export documentation, health certificates, overseas permits, and coordination with foreign authorities. All you need to do is pack your dog's essentials and show up. The Singapore Air isn't about quick weekend trips, though. It's built for life transitions, relocations, and meaningful journeys with your fur kid. The flights are operated by the Asian Porant in partnership with Air 7 Asia, with a team handling all documentation, permits, and coordination with overseas authorities for a hassle-free journey. The service is available for dogs, cats, rabbits, birds, and other small pets. However, it does come at a hefty price. Just some examples of some of their routes. All these figures are in US dollars. Singapore to Kuala Lumpur, $5,500 US dollars. Singapore, Hong Kong, Singapore, 19,200. Singapore, Tokyo, Singapore, 34,400. And Singapore into Europe and back to Singapore is $64,900. The most expensive one they're offering is Singapore to San Francisco at $84,000 US dollars. They also fly to Melbourne, Bangkok, Dubai, Shanghai, Taipei, Ho Chi Minh City, Indonesia, and more, all with the same pet-first approach. Singapore Air also curates pet-friendly hotels and even offers sniffaris, which is like a safari, I suppose, Sniffari. These are guided activities designed for your dog to explore, sniff, and experience their new surroundings properly. I think
It's
I've
a bit
heard
early for an April Fool's, isn't it?
I was going to say, is April?
wow.
It was worth putting that in the show notes just to see the exasperation on your face, Nev. I'm so sorry that you ended up with that story.
Well, I'm sure I'm sure some people will be going for that.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a premium price, isn't it? That's for sure.
You don't fancy going on a sniffari?
There's some great comments in the chat.
Have you seen them?
Yeah, Dirk says it should be easy for them to disembark. Are they in post class? And my favourite, they can't do cat approaches though.
Well done, Andy. You really clawed that one back.
Oh, God.
But
Just a little pause for thought there.
I don't know how we can recover from this. Right. Well, that was the last story in the commercial news segment for this week. Oh dear, Minnie. Honestly, did you find that story?
Yeah, I'm not sure where I came across that one, but yeah, it was too good to pass that one up. I'm not sure. I have a feeling that Singapore Airlines might be getting their legal team in touch.
Yeah.
I can't imagine they're going to be very happy with the little play on words there, but who knows?
Yeah. Right. Moving on to the next part of the show, Nev.
Yes, back into more familiar territory now, I'm pleased to say, with the Retro Airline Ad of the Week. And this week, we take a look at what Continental Airlines had to offer back in the 70s. And then, of course, Carlos indulges himself with this Delta ad featuring, yes, you've guessed it, the L1011 TriStar.
First flight on Continental?
How did you know?
You're not using our overhead storage. Let's stow this up here and give your legs a little more room.
Oh, great.
Stereo?
How much is it?
Free.
I'll take it.
You could use some more workroom.
That's terrific.
When it comes to business travel, Continental Airlines makes the difference. Fly us and see for yourself.
On Continental Airlines, we really move our tail for you.
You're looking at $18 million worth of airplanes. It's the Delta TriStar, the newest jet in Delta Airlines' wide-ride fleet. Like to take a tour before the passengers come aboard? The 3 cabins on the TriStar are wider than most living rooms, 19 feet wall-to-wall. The ceiling is 8 feet high. All 250 seats here in first class and here in tourist are roomy 2x2. You have handy coat racks between each pair of center seats. And these compartments overhead for carry-on things. This is the below-deck galley where your meal is cooked and rushed by serving cart up in this elevator and onto your tray table piping hot. You could enjoy your favorite music with your meals too. The Delta TriStar isn't just big. It's big on creature comforts too. Welcome aboard. Delta is ready when you are.
Well, there we go. What do you think of that then?
Well, my biggest surprise is the cost of the aircraft back in the day, $18 million US. I mean, it doesn't seem very much by today's standards, but was a lot back then, of course, wasn't it? So, yeah, amazing.
And also the size of the cabin there. What the guy said, 8 feet tall cabin.
Yeah,
in those aircraft. Absolutely, honestly, the size is just absolutely amazing. What do you think of those, Andy?
It's one of my favourite aircraft. It's beautiful.
It is. I've just literally, here we go. I'm going to pop that on the screen there. This is a shot that I show the group. There we go. For those of you watching in YouTube world, there we go. I don't know if you guys can see that on the screen as well. The L1011 cabin. It's they could have put another deck at least in there, couldn't they, with some more seating upstairs? But yeah, those are the days with the old, the stylish cinema, Nev, with the funny coloured lights. Was it red, green, and blue?
Oh yes,
blue.
the projection systems, the RGB projectors. Yes, yeah.
Absolutely
but,
incredible.
No, I never went on one, and I won't anymore.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the end of it. No.
Unless you can get over to the US, Nev, where the last one is still flying.
It is, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah. Right, Nev, it's competition time.
It is, and we've got our colleague Alan White to thank very much indeed for the prizes for this. If you remember that the question was the front cover of the new book from the Irish Air Spectacular 3, and I've actually got one here in my hand, which I'm holding, shows a formation of 4 Fugger Magister jets. This type was displayed from 1986 to 1998, and the question was, what was the name of the display team? And we gave you a clue, which was the team was reformed in 2022 with the PC-9s that the Air Corps currently operates. The answer is the Silver Swallows, and I have the Airbus A350 cap at hand here with all the correct answers in there. So I shall give it a bit of a fiddle and a random mix-up, and let's see who the lucky winner is. Here we go. Right, we have a winner, and it is Stephen Taylor. Well done, Stephen. Many congratulations. We will be sending you your prize, which is the Irish Air Spectacular book. And the photography in this book, as we mentioned before, is phenomenal. And also, Alan has very kindly donated a Irish Air Spectacular calendar as well. And again, featuring some phenomenal photography in there. There's some rotary operations in there and all sorts of things. That's a really nice 2026 calendar. So well done, Stephen. I will send you an email at the end of the show, and if you just let me have your address, we will send them off to you. Thank you very much to everybody that entered the competition as well. So really worthwhile prize, and very nice of Alan to send them over. Unfortunately, they just arrived today, so that was very good. So I can post them out to you, Stephen.
Yeah, we are definitely very lucky to have Mr. White as a friend. We all have our own little calendars, don't we, Nev, as well, to put up in our various rooms. I'm definitely going to be putting mine up on my display case in January next year. As Nev was saying, the pictures are absolutely stunning, and it was a lovely place to be as well, Nev, wasn't it?
Yeah, very much enjoyed it, and the weather in Bray that day was fantastic. I was looking through there to see if there was any pictures of us filming anything or interviewing Shay, but there wasn't.
No, but we have got lots of footage though, haven't we, in previous episodes from the Bray Air show?
Yes, we have, and there's some great stuff there, and very worthwhile, and I'm very glad we went there this year. Fantastic.
Yeah. Right, Nev, it's your favourite part of the show.
Yes, it's the area where I'm not qualified to talk about, I'm pleased to say. It's the military segment.
What's up, Bogies 13550, Angel 16, heading 340. Okay. Now, undersea Bogies.
The first story this week comes to us from bbc.co.uk. And the headline, it's outrageous. JetBlue pilot describes near collision with US military aircraft. So a near collision between a JetBlue commercial flight and a US Air Force refueling tanker near Venezuela is under review. US Southern Command told media on Monday this week. The passenger aircraft, originating out of Caraco, halted its ascent in order to avoid hitting the military aircraft. The exact distance between the two aircraft remains unclear because of the US Air or the Air Force's plane's transponder, a device that transmits a location and information to air traffic controllers, which was not switched on. The JetBlue said in a statement to the BBC that its flight crew reported the incident to the airline leadership and the carrier will participate in any investigation. The JetBlue plane was flying from Curaçao, an island just off the coast of Venezuela, to New York City's JFK airport. They said, "We almost had a mid-air collision up here," the JetBlue pilot is said on a recording. "They passed directly in our flight path. They don't have the transponder turned on. It's outrageous," he said. "We just had a traffic pass directly in front of us within 5 miles, obviously said, maybe 2 or 3 miles, but it was an air-to-air refueler from the US Air Force." And he said he was at altitude. The pilot said, "We had to stop our climb." The pilot said the Air Force plane then headed to Venezuelan airspace. In a statement to CBS News, the BBC's US partner spokesperson said the US Air Force is aware of the incident and is currently reviewing the matter. Military air crews are highly trained personnel who operate in accordance with established procedures and applicable airspace requirements, the spokesperson said. "Safety always remains a top priority and we are working through the appropriate channels to assess the facts surrounding the situation." The incident comes after a warning from the FAA last month to US aircraft urging them to exercise caution when in Venezuelan airspace due to worsening security situations and heightened military activity in or around Venezuela. Not good, and obviously this is something that had deadly consequences not too long ago with a military aircraft and a commercial airliner. It's not a good idea to have your transponder switched off, is it now?
No, and I wonder what the story is here, really. Why they didn't have a transponder switched on, and I'm sure there's all sorts of protocols about military operations and all the rest of it. But when you're mixing military and civilian aircraft in the same airspace, you've got to know where everybody is, surely. Yeah.
I suppose you have that sort of issue in the UK, Andy, with our military defence force or the RAF.
It depends on the equipment that's flying. Some have transponders on, some don't, but air traffic control know where they are. They're talking with the military, so it's well coordinated in UK airspace. Quite often we can get told of aircraft that are going to cross, especially in mainland Europe, that we can't see on our TCAS, but we can definitely see them outside. So they're well known to air traffic control.
Yeah, scary thing. And that's what is the TCAS is there for, isn't it, Andy? To save lives and warn.
Yeah, it is.
Right, sticking with you, Andy, with a very popular jet that I've seen a few times in the past displaying, but and this is one that I think we definitely should not have got rid of from the Royal Air Force.
Yes, this is from the aviationist.com, and it's 15 years ago, the last operational British Harrier flies. On December the 15th, 2010, 16 Harriers took off from RAF Cottesmore for a farewell formation flight, marking the end of 41 years of British Harrier operations. Originally scheduled to remain in service until 2018 or beyond, ideally overlapping with the introduction of the F-35B, budget cuts instituted by the 2010 Strategic Defence and Security Review saw the joint Royal Air Force Fleet Air Arm Joint Strike Wing stand down with only a few months of notice. 3 squadrons, 1 F Squadron RAF, 4 F Squadron RAF and 800 Naval Air Squadron were the remaining operational users of the Harrier airframe in British service, all eventually disbanding on January the 28th, 2011. After several weather delays, the final operational flight was arranged for December the 15th, 2010. It featured a formation of 13 Harrier GR9s and 3 Harrier T-12 twin-stick trainers, led by a specially painted jet in a retro camouflage scheme reminiscent of one worn by earlier generations of Harrier. Other aircraft in the formation featured commemorative tail artwork. The aircraft would, in formation, commence a tour of Royal Air Force bases across central and eastern England. Though only 16 aircraft took part in the final flypast, a significant number more were still on the ground at Cottesmore, both in serviceable and unserviceable states. The last Harrier GR9s returned from their final combat deployment on Operation Herrick in Afghanistan in July 2009, having been replaced in theatre by the Tornado GR4 after a 5-year stint involving 8,500 sorties and 22,000 flying hours. Carrier capability was maintained until the very last days, and the last Harriers departed HMS Ark Royal Ski Jump on November the 24th. The Strategic Defence Review not only retired the Harrier force, but also mandated the early withdrawal of HMS Ark Royal, leaving sister ship HMS Illustrious alone to serve until 2014 as a helicopter carrier. The decision was lamented by some only months after the Harrier left service, as the British military prepared for Operation Ellamy in Libya. Though many pointed to the US Marine Corps' use of their own Harriers over Libya as an example of how the UK could have utilised carrier-based Harriers for its contribution, it should nonetheless be noted that the Harrier GR9 configuration featured no radar, which made potential air-to-air engagements a more difficult prospect. In addition, the Tornado GR4s, which provided the bulk of Operation Ellamy's air power, were quickly forward deployed to Allied air bases in Italy, mostly negating the advantage of being able to forward deploy the carrier. The Tornado GR4 was the aircraft with which the Harrier had to contend in the decision-making process that led to the Strategic Defence Review in 2010. Whether rightly or wrongly, it has been decided that the UK could financially only support 2 simultaneous lines of combat jet aircraft. The Typhoon Force, still in its infancy, was an obvious keeper, leading to a Harrier versus Tornado showdown. Although the Harrier boasted the carrier capability as well as a more flexible deployment option on land, the aircraft's lesser capabilities in range and weapon sensor payloads compared to the swing-wing strike aircraft did not help its chances. The earlier mentioned deployment of Tornado GR4s to Afghanistan in 2009 was another factor. The money and resources had already been spent sending the jets there and returning the well-used Harriers and all support equipment. And then the story, it just gives the whole story of the Harriers there, really. There was a lot of the aircraft that took part in the final fly past were actually delivered to the Americans, while a few have been preserved. But yeah, I can't believe it's been 15 years since they were retired.
Yeah, it's a shame. I remember seeing these at quite a few of the air shows. Even some of the, I think it was some of the first trips that we done to Riyadh. Blimey, that must have been back in, 2016, 2017. They displayed, there was some displaying there. Jonathan Warner just sent me through a couple of pictures. I can't put them on the screen at the moment, but very, very nice pictures indeed from Mr. Warner. But yeah, there's a lot of comments in the chat room as well that these perhaps shouldn't have gone and been taken out of service quite so swiftly. And there's also one of these is a gate guardian somewhere. I can't think where it is now. It's one of the bases near where we are here. There's a gate guardian where there's a Harrier on display there as well. And I believe, if I remember rightly, I'm sure there's one of these at Flixton Aviation Museum, if I remember rightly. I think as well. So yeah, but yeah, sad to see them go when they did go. And obviously we were lucky here in the east of England, because when we had our big air show at Lowestoft Seafront on the coast many years ago, one of these decided to end up in the North Sea, which made quite for a few YouTube videos at the time. So yeah,
watching them in a hover was a sight to behold, really, because an aircraft like that, when you look at it, it should be moving forward. But here it is just teetering on jets of air. It was a beautiful sight. I used to love seeing them.
I remember seeing one back in the 90s. I was at Brands Hatch watching some motor racing, and one came over and did a display, and it was sort of hovering over the middle of the track, but in doing so, it managed to blow away all of the advertising hoardings from the back of the pit lane and made an absolute mess of everything. It was hilarious. But yeah, it was quite extraordinary watching this thing, and you could see the kind of the streams of the thrust sort of holding this thing up in the air, and it was quite an extraordinary sight.
Jonathan Ward.
Talking of Brands Hatch, there was a story I read and saw a picture the day. It was one of the Grand Prix in the 80s. A Harrier came in so low, it was below the height of the grandstands as it went across the racecourse. And there's photos of it as well. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think I was at the same event the following year, and they actually had a tornado fly over, and that came over at such a lick that nobody heard it coming, and then obviously went past with an almighty crash of sound, and I've never heard so many grown people say very bad words.
Yeah, Mr. Warner in the chat room saying that he was at Cottesmore on the day of the last flight, and unfortunately, due to low cloud, meant they cancelled the fly past over the airfield. Typical. Yeah. He also said he saw 4 United States Marine Corps ones arrive at Sun and Fun this year, just before they retired. Oh, yeah, I forgot he went to Sun and Fun, didn't he? Oh, Mr. Warner. Lucky him. Right, Nev, we have had quite a busy week, and also quite a busy before we went live today, didn't we? In regards,
to lots of interest in our 600th show, which I'm delighted to tell you a bit more about. We're just over half full now, I would say. We've got about 35 people signed up to come, which is marvellous. We're looking between 40 and 50. That's the kind of number we really need. But just to give you the details of it all, it's going to be on Friday, the 22nd of May next year, 2026. The venue is at the Imperial War Museum at Duxford in the UK. Just over in Cambridgeshire. We need an entry fee from you if you would like to come, which is £60 sterling, and that's payable to us by the 1st of April 2026, either to the PT UK Patreon or PayPal account. Details of those are on the Support Us tab on the front of our website. It includes a complimentary 1-hour admission to the museum, and special guest presentations as in previous years. We're just putting some details together for that at the moment. If you're coming by car, there's free dedicated on-site parking for all of our guests. We're not using the main Duxford car park. We're using a section which is part of the conference suite, the airside suite, in fact, just overlooking the main airfield. So it's a really fantastic view, but easy parking there. Your entry fee includes tea and coffee breaks with cookies, fresh fruit, and a buffet lunch as well. Around the area, there's plenty of reasonably priced accommodation, which is local to Duxford, and we suggest you book early if you need that. It is down to yourselves to book your own hotel, but most of us are staying at the Duxford Hotel, Cambridge South, which is in Whittlesford in Cambridge, and that's just a 3 minutes drive from the Imperial War Museum itself. Rather usefully as well, Whittlesford Station is right next to the hotel, with easy access to London's Liverpool Street Station. In the evening, we have a dinner venue, which is the Red Lion, which is directly opposite this hotel, and they've also got rooms available should you require it. Dinner is a pay-for-yourself affair, and you will have to pre-order your food, and the restaurant is going to need the info by the 30th of April at the latest. I'll be sending out menus later in the early part of next year to the people that have booked, so that you can choose your food. If you would like to come, we still have places available, as I said. Please send your request to us here at podcast@planetalkinguk.com. We'll send you a confirmation email after we've received your payment. And if you can also let us know if you have any dietary requirements, so that we can inform the catering team at Duxford. This will be in May, as I say, so it's going to be, hopefully the weather will be nice, and there are limited spaces available. As I mentioned, the event is filling up very quickly, so hopefully you can join us. And if you would like to come, please let me know as soon as you can by sending an email to podcast@planetalkinguk.com.
Yeah, we had a very nice email, didn't we, this week, Nev, from, was it Mark, wasn't it, we heard from this week?
Yeah.
A local pilot as well, and he's hoping to fly in, Nev. which is
yes, that's the other option, of course. If you are a pilot, then there's no flying activity on that day at Duxford, as far as I can see. So I think it will be available to fly into. But again, you have to get prior permission to do that from the airfield. And if you're a pilot, you'll know all about Duxford Airfield anyway. So, but yeah, again, weather permitting too, of course.
Yeah, cannot wait for it. There's a few excited people in the chat room as well, Nev. Jason Trussell looking forward to the 600th show. As we all are, it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a very packed day, I think. Nev is
I think so.
sure. I think we'll all sleep well that evening. Just as well, the hotel's not far from the venue, Nev.
Yes, it's a very short walk. The hotel's a very short walk from the dinner venue, but actually it's only a 3-minute drive from the Imperial War Museum itself. So we'll make sure we can get people across there if you've not come by car.
Yeah, I'll obviously be there with the vehicle. You'll have a vehicle as well, Nev, and I'm sure we'll be able to get everyone to where they need to go as well. Because we have got some people as well coming over all the way from the US, haven't we, Nev?
We have, yes, yeah, and there's lots of might be some surprise guest appearances and all sorts of things. So we'll try our very best to put together the best program we can for you, which is why I've been talking about it this far out, so we can do the very best for you. And thank you all for being our listeners and for joining us as well.
Yeah, you're gonna make the trek up from down south, Nick, and join us, obviously.
Well, I think if anybody's flying in from the southwest, I would urge them to get in touch because it's quite a long drive.
Yes, I hope if anyone is listening, flying in from the southwest, do let us know, because if you could give Nick a lift, that would be handy.
I'll even help with the flying.
The bike ride would be quite nice, I suppose, wouldn't it, Nick?
Oh, it's all M25 and all that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's the worst part of it. Yeah. Jonathan Warner is driving up from Wiltshire. Happy to pick anyone up en route. There we go.
We just go via Devon, Jonathan. That would be great. And just pick Nick up. I'd be delighted with that.
You never know. There might be between now and then some amazing happening at Norwich Airport that will allow you to fly straight into Norwich Airport, Nick.
Well, that'd be perfect. I could fly. Yeah, if I could get a flight from Exeter, that'd be great.
Yeah. Right, so that is where we're going to start to wrap things up for tonight's show. Have a quick little round robin, I suppose, and see what everyone is up to this week, or this coming week, I should say. Just to note as well, haven't we, Nev? We've got a special note in regards to next week's live show.
Yes, so this will be the next show we're going to be doing is on Tuesday, the 23rd of December. So rather than being on Wednesday, which is Christmas Eve, and a lot of our European colleagues celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve. So the next show for us is going to be Tuesday, the 23rd of December at 7 o'clock UK time. We'll be taking a 2-week break for Christmas this time, and then we'll be back on Wednesday, the 7th of January 2026 at the usual time of 7 o'clock. So just bear in mind that next week's show is on Tuesday, the 23rd.
Yeah, so we shall see you next Tuesday. Right, so we'll start off with you, Nick. Any exciting things going on the weekend? How's the two-wheeled version going?
Well, the motorbike's staying in the garage this weekend because I'm off to France tomorrow. So I'd like all of our listeners to collectively wish for smooth seas for me, because I don't really get on very well with boats. So I'm heading over to St Malo for the weekend. So go and stock up the wine cellar.
Did you say you're going tomorrow?
Yes.
Have you seen the weather forecast for tomorrow?
I try not to look.
Okay.
We live in the UK. It's very often either an act of pure fiction or
it's a very fresh southerly breeze.
Jolly good
tomorrow.
Well, I've got some tablets, and maybe some onboard refreshments might help. Kill or cure. Wish me luck.
Oh dear.
Well, hopefully you'll be okay, Nick. It'll all be gone by then. It'll just be a moderate chop.
Jolly good.
Yeah. Andy, what are you up to? Anything aviation related or not?
Nope. Start my Christmas holidays next week. So just finishing up bits and pieces now before then.
Yeah. There we go. Nice and easy. Excellent.
Nice and quiet.
Nice and quiet. Love that. Nev, apart from cleaning the car, what else?
Well, as I look through my calendar in front of me, it tells me that tomorrow I have to order some more tablets from the chemist. We're going to keep fit again another week, but then we are having coffee and mince pies afterwards. That's probably going to negate any calories that were lost during the 1 hour keep fit session. And then, yes, this is the first year ever that I've got no company Christmas party to go to. So I shall make my own entertainment with some Chiltern Brewery ale, I think. I'll go and pick some up tomorrow. And some cashew nuts, something like that.
And I can highly recommend the Tring Brewery, Nev.
Oh, of course. Absolutely, yes. A good shout there, sir. Very good shout.
From you.
Yep.
I was going to say that Chiltern beer, Nev, is lovely. I have had that before.
We're very lucky where we are here in Buckinghamshire and also just over the border in Oxfordshire as well. I've got some great local breweries, so I'm going to be trying out a few before another diet begins on January the 1st.
Oh, yeah.
I think calories don't count when you're on holiday, right?
Apparently, so. I would be in agreement with that, yes. Yeah, absolutely right.
Well, that sounds excellent, and I'm sure you will have lots of fun drinking beer, Nev. I know I will this weekend. I'm off out for a little group party into the low village where I shall be drinking beer as I can just walk home, which is a nice thing where we live now. It's very nice. And Sunday I shall be recovering, probably on the sofa, along with Dave and Nigel, I expect. But don't forget, as Nev was saying earlier, we will be back next Tuesday. So that's Tuesday next week for the live show. It's going to be a Christmas show. Might throw a little few bits and pieces extra in the mix next week as it's a Christmas special. So make sure you tune in next Tuesday for our live show. Going to say a big thanks to everyone on YouTube who has tuned in tonight, all the family in there as always this week. Great to see all of you guys and girls in there. Thanks for tuning in on this Wednesday night. Lovely to see you all in there. And also to everyone who downloads the show as an audio podcast, thank you for tuning in and downloading the show each week. We absolutely really do appreciate you listening to us each week. Waffle on about aviation for an hour and a half or so. So that's it for episode 582. Nev, would you like to take us home?
Yes, thanks everybody for joining us this evening. Really enjoyed your company and some great comments in the chat room as ever. Hope you have a nice weekend. And don't forget, we're back on Tuesday of next week. That's the 23rd. In the meantime, bye for now.
And there we go.
Very good.
Another one in the can, as they say.
So in having a look at the that Bournemouth Skyborne Academy that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So they do an ATPL course, and the price is roughly equivalent to a brand new Porsche 911. It's £114,950. The first payment is a non-refundable deposit of £15,000.
Oh.
30 days prior to course commencement, there is another payment of £25,000. 90 days after course start is another £25,000. 180 days after course start is another £25,000. And then 270 days after course start is a final payment of £24,950. So, yeah, it's looks pretty interesting. So they do the initial phase is theoretical knowledge training at Gloucestershire or Bournemouth. Then phase 2 is single engine flight training, including CPL in Florida. Phase 3 is multi-engine IR training in Gloucestershire or Bournemouth. Phase 4, advanced UPRT at Gloucestershire Airport. And then the final phase is APS MCC at Gloucestershire Airport. So I shall be signing up shortly.
Excellent. Good to hear. Nice to see. I'll have you as an F4 any day, Nick.
Thank you very much, Andy. I guess, so I'm looking at that and thinking, even if you could commute to all of those UK places, you're going to be in Florida for 26 weeks. So the cost
that
of
must
accommodation.
Does that not include the accommodation in Florida?
I don't know.
Let me have a look.
Yeah, it's a mortgage, isn't it? Basically,
it's a lot of money.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
How does that differ from your course, Andy? When you first started?
Exactly the same course. UPRT didn't exist then because Air France 447 hadn't ruined it for everybody. Yeah, and it was about the same at the time, but my course cost £60,000 because it was like 16 years ago now. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Which is still a sizable amount of money.
As opposed to a brand new Porsche 911, that's a really nice second-hand one.
Well.
Right, where did you find that at?
Skyborne.com/UK/integrated ATPL course.
Integrated ATPL, right, let's have a look.
So they obviously also do their they do stuff with in coordination with the British Airways Speedbird Academy.
Yeah, they do, and they do it with EasyJet as well, Logan
Jet2 and Ryanair. So yeah, they've obviously got some good affiliations, and one of the things it does state in the blurb is that you're virtually guaranteed a job at the end of it because they've got such good links with the airlines. So yeah. So
how does an integrated course differ from a modular course, Andy?
So integrated it's full-time start to finish, slightly less hours in certain areas required, because it's all been provided, because it's, well, the names of the title really, it's all integrated together, so it runs through non-stop from start to finish. And the CAA and EASA and stuff like that are happy for the hours to be a bit less because of the continuation of training, and it's all from one provider as well, whereas modular, you could obviously, I could go to Teesside to do my PPL, then I could go down to Gloucester to do my CPL, then I could move to Bournemouth to do my IR, then I could go to, well, I could have gone to Cambridge to VA back in the day to do the MCC course, and I could have jumped about through all the providers that I want and pick up my certificates on the way.
Gotcha. Yeah. I can see why the integrated course would be more attractive to do, especially on an intensive basis and do the whole thing in one hit. Yeah.
I think they do pay for your accommodation while you're out there, Nick.
Okay. I might get signed up then.
Do it. Come and fly.
Do it, Nick. Just think of the motorcycles you could ride out in the US, Nick.
It's in Florida, though. They don't have any very interesting roads out there.
It's flat, long roads.
Yeah, it's but no, it's yeah, it would be one of those kind of do I gamble away my retirement on the promise of a not necessarily getting a job at the end of it.
You can imagine. I mean, obviously the courses are very good, and the pass rate must be very good as well. But there will be people that don't make the grade,
right?
And hopefully they find that out early on rather than later. But it's
I think
a massive commitment
somewhere that there's
the selection normally finds those people out.
Yeah.
The selection will be tough.
Yeah.
So we accept applications year round with each course having no more than 20 trainees. So I guess they are quite...
Does it say anything about age limits, Nick?
Or what are you trying to suggest?
I'm saying about me.
I'm older than you, mate.
Okay, fair enough.
52 in a couple of weeks.
I forget that Andy's the baby of the team.
Yeah.
I think that would be potentially the issue for me is what would be my kind of potential career earnings moving forward once I'm qualified.
Yeah, you'd be looking at probably 7 years to command. Bit like, what's the point, really? It'd be fun, though.
It would be fun.
Exactly.
I think he's trying to say that you should have started 15 years ago, basically.
Yes, I quite agree. Yeah.
Oh, poor Nick. Well, you could always get your PPL, Nick, and then go and do surveying work for.
Yeah, do you know what? I'd actually be super happy with that. That would suit me really well.
They're doing it all the time here on the east coast of England, just over from where we are here. There's quite often survey aircraft just going round and round and backwards and forwards all the way across the coast where Sizewell, the new Sizewell power station, is now being built. So,
yeah.
Sounds good. You've got the perfect instructor, sitting here with us now.
Not for light aircraft. No.
Oh, you could fly anything, Andy.
I did go flying in a friend's 172 a few weeks back, which was fun. It took me a few minutes to remember
how to
fly one of those things, but it came back pretty quick. But I couldn't instruct in them. Oh no,
not at all, Andy. Even if it was like you had to.
No, I enjoy sitting in the back of a simulator. It's far easier and safer.
Okay.
Not likely to bang your head if it all goes wrong.
So basically what the conclusion that we've come to here tonight as a group, as a team, is that we couldn't start our own airline and be pilots. Apart from you, Andy.
Well, yeah, but I'd still need a lot more people.
Yeah.
I could be head of catering quality control. I don't mind doing that.
Well, I was all up for us buying a second-hand 747 and doing a charter for Oshkosh.
Yes.
But nobody else seemed on board with it.
I'll let you do the design work, Nick. You could do, obviously, the design, interior design and the artwork.
We'll just put some new stickers on, a bit like Global did.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. Nobody will notice.
Yeah, we could just go and get an old 380 out of the desert somewhere.
Yeah.
Do it if we're going to do it on a 7.5. Come on, let's find an old 7.5.
Oh yes.
We'll have to
do what Bruce did with Iron Maiden. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'll happily fly that around in the left-hand seat, no problem.
Anyway, right, we better let these people get back to their Wednesday evening. Going to say a big thanks again to all the chat room for joining us this evening on the show. Thank you very much indeed. And hopefully... Jason's just asked, do we have a preferred payment method for the 6? PayPal is probably the easiest, Jason, to be brutally honest with you. PayPal is the quicker and easier option for that. And it's all trackable and traceable, etc., etc. So yeah, PayPal is the best one for that. Links to that are on the website.
Yeah, there's a bit on the new website. Top right hand corner says support us. You click on that, gives you the PayPal and the Patreon links.
Yeah. Right, that's it then, guys and girls. We'll see you next Tuesday for the live Christmas show. Excellent. Look forward to next week's show. Say goodbye to everyone there, and I shall press all the buttons.
Yep, hope you have a nice rest of the week and the weekend. We'll be putting some stuff out on the social medias just to remind you about Tuesday's show rather than Wednesday. In the meantime, I hope you have a nice time, and bye for now.